Been in that place where you have so much brain fog that you can barely put one foot in front of the other, and you're not showing up as your best self to your kids, in your job, just overall having really, really low energy. So this mom, Diane, is sharing her story. Listen in. I'm going to put a description about the products that she was using down below. If you have questions, feel free to comment. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next interview. I will be sharing interviews on a regular basis every Tuesday as a Tuesday testimonials. Diane, thank you so much for being with me today and sharing your story, because you and I both want to get this message out that people can feel better, they can have better focus, better energy, better mood, better mental clarity with these gut brain axis protocols. So share with us a little bit about how you were feeling, and I think people can relate.
I am an educational diagnostician, so I work in the special education realm, and special education paperwork just piles on top of you, piles on top. Teachers, educators, everybody in that field, there's so many things that we do behind the scenes, and then we present it to our kids, and we want to present in a full positive energy so that the kids can have their full positive energy for their brains to be open. So if we're not that way and we're just like this, the kids aren't going to respond. So I knew that my brain was kind of in shutdown mode, and I wasn't being about true person to myself, true person to my husband, true person to my family. And it was also bleeding over into my professional life. And then I saw this lady down the hall, and I watched her on Facebook for a while. Her name is Amy. And I watched her on Facebook, and her characteristics just changed. You could see that she was a teacher. You could see that she was getting that light, that spark back in her eye, and just kind of a pep in her step. And I was like, I need what that lady has. What does she have? I'm going to go get it. That's kind of the over story of it.
Yeah, I love it because you can feel a person's energy, right? And I know what you said with the children too. Like if you're feeling stressed over it, like they're just like little sponges. They just they do.
They need a cool, calm, collected person in front of them, in charge of them, leading them. So yes.
Yeah. So when you reached out to Amy, what was like the first thing that she said that kind of like pulled you in, like, oh, this sounds really interesting? Did she like give you any science or any of that?
She did. She started talking about how your gut is your second brain. That science, I had heard about it previously, but she kind of reiterated it and showed me some science behind it and what the protocol that she was using. I was like, I need that. Plus, she was melting away in a good way. She was shedding some pounds. And we all, I need to shed some pounds still. But as we learn about cortisol through these brain gut systems, cortisol was going down. I was like, yes, that stress hormone, I need that to diminish so I can get the poofiness down too. So you could just see stress melting away on her face and in her appearance. So I was like, I need to do that too. So sign me up.
Yeah, I love it. It's true that some people do, because if levels of cortisol are high, which when you're stressed, right, you're in that fight or flight state, it's really hard to get rid of fat. Like your body will store fat if you have really high cortisol levels. So
it sure
that's a beautiful side benefit, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And who doesn't want that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, very cool. So you learned a little bit about the science, and then you decided I'm going to give this a whirl. So what was your experience, and how long would you say it took for you to feel some of the benefits?
Well, the first time the box came, I opened it. I shook up a bottle of happy juice. I mixed it up and I took it with me to work. So once I started drinking it, I probably did not feel any changes in my brain or in my thinking for probably a week. And then I started having these little moments where light bulbs would come on that hadn't been coming on. And then all of a sudden I was having these, you see those commercials where the little cloud follows the person and it rains.
Yeah.
I had that at all times and I became used to it. It was my norm. So when it lifted, I was like, oh my gosh. It's kind of probably like when a person first gets glasses and they see for the first time. It really hit me probably 3 weeks to a month in, and I was never going to not have this product in my life from that point forward.
Wow. That's true what you say. Like sometimes if you have that brain fog, you don't realize it until it's lifted. And then
Yes.
you're like, whoa,
Whoa,
yeah,
this
that's
is how
so
people really feel all the time? Like, this is how you're supposed
fascinating.
to be living? Yes,
That's
that's how I
so
felt.
yeah, it's amazing. And everything does go back to the gut, which is what is so amazing about these products. So we have a group on Facebook, and if you want to take a look at some of the other
Mhm.
stories, you're going to see stories about all different things because it all goes back to the gut. The immune system goes back to the gut. 90% of serotonin is created in the gut, dopamine,
That's
GABA,
amazing.
which helps to keep us calm and stress
Mhm.
resilient. So there's just so many different stories. We have also a kids line, which is just beyond.
Right.
I mean, the children, they just need this so badly. So we have both of those. So if you want to see more stories, and I definitely recommend come into the group and see. If you're more a sciencey kind of person and you want to see more of the science, drop a science in the comments and we'll be happy to share all of it. So I'm going to say thank you very much for sharing your story. I know there are people who can relate, especially teachers. They're over their
Yes.
heads. It's like too much,
Ooh,
too much.
yes. Yes, 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 for
Yeah.
sure. So thank you, Dale. Yes,
Uh,
I just want everybody that feels like they're the covers are over their eyes and they don't see a way out, that there is products and supplements out there that can help you. Now, I just want everybody to know that.
yeah,
Let's share
yeah.
it with everybody.
Yeah, and when you feel better, you show up for all your people better in your
Absolutely.
life.
Yes.
That's what it's all about,
So I
really.
now have a better home life, work life balance. It has all blended well together. So I'm back to being who my true self is.
And now you can bring all your gifts to the people and especially those
Absolutely.
precious children that you work with.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you so much, Diane. I
All
really
right.
appreciate your time and your willingness to share your story.
Yes. Thanks,
All
Dale.
right. All
All right.
right. Have a
Bye.
good one. Bye-bye.